All right, so I want to welcome everyone. It's 11 o'clock. I would like to welcome everyone uh, to the commercial underwriting show. And today we're going to pick up from where we left off. I also want to go through, I want to take this time to also explain something to those who may be new to underwriting, and that uh, just to give a better understanding of, of, of comps and stuff like that. However, I will not be able to, I will not be able to show you the report. Okay. From CoStar, I cannot do that. So I want to just say hello, Alicia, Casimir, Billy, Herman, Kenneth. Uh, Hello to you all. Okay.
Ooh.
So let me start off with we had some questions about the property, and there's another property I'm going to discuss that uh, Alicia, Billy, and myself been looking at. Okay, so but that property is to me is more promising. The property in Florida, that's I think just let it go. Although we did get our questions answered, the thing that's stopping me from moving forward is the guy isn't flexible. So it's not enough blood in the street yet for him.
Mm.
All right. And when you get a person like that, you got to ask yourself, is it worth your time to continue moving forward? Sometimes you have to let the gun get under him to where he has to sell. Right now, I think he's right now I just think he's being uh he knows he's not under the gun. So he's gonna hold tight, and and he's gonna hold tight. You know some, Alicia? Oh, I didn't even see that message until just now.
It's okay.
And I already sent you the co-host.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even see that message. So, but yeah, I got to get used to this new setup with Zoom, because now I'm looking at two things, and now they done made it different. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, let's move forward. So again, the deal, he's hardcore stuck. He's hardcore stuck. 13 million. No, he's not going to do no owner seller financing. He's not going to do anything creative. He's not doing it. So I just said I'm gonna move forward, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I already know that my numbers are not going to be what he wants. Not unless we decide to put down a larger amount of money so that we could bring our point to where it will meet his point. Right. And I don't think, and I'm not interested in trying to do all of that. So that's okay. It doesn't hurt to move on. Hopefully, he'll come back around. If not, okay. And right now, he's not working with a broker. He's not working with a broker. So once he starts working with a broker in his city, things may change. Because hopefully that broker will enlighten him and say, yo, this isn't going to work. Okay. But for now, I'm not going to waste much time on it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and discuss another property, a property that Alicia, Billy, and I have been looking at. And this property to me seems a little more promising. Would you agree with that, Billy, or what?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree, especially after I walked the property.
Okay. So and that was another thing too. Billy is there. He walked the property. This other property, we would have to go down there or find someone there that's going to walk the property, which would have been a problem. I think getting a flight from here to that, it probably only been about 100 something bucks to go to Florida. So it probably, but anyway, let's move on. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to share a screen. Now, what you're looking at is rental comps, and you're probably saying, well, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Where are the rest? Where, and if you look over here, you'll see that I have some hidden. The reason why they're hidden, excuse me, is because those particular properties were not comparative to this one. And even these here really are not comparative, but I'm gonna explain something. I want every last one of you to give me some feedback. But the other properties were like 2000 something. And if you look right here, this is a 1960. So I would not use a 2000 something compared to a 1960. That's one. Two, some of the properties was on the other side of an interstate, which I said, okay, can't use that. And there were, I think, one or two that was on the other side of a waterway. And I said, nope, can't, not going to use that either. So it left us with these right here. The properties also were greater than 60. It just happened to fall that way. They were greater than 60. So I was left with what was available. But what I did look at, I said, okay, now this property here, I could probably actually get rid of, really, because why? The square footage. All right. I could probably really get rid of that property because of the scoops, not that one, these two right here, right? Because of the square footage. All right. They're not that far from here. And actually, I could probably even get rid of this one right here. I don't want to delete. Where's my hide? All right, so it's not going to, hold on 1 second. So let's hide it. I don't delete. I don't delete. What I do is just hide it, just in case I need to come back. Okay. So now with any comp, you do need at least three comparatives. Three comparatives, right? So we got the three. Now you're probably saying, hold on, Tara. Buddy, Those units are way too big. I agree. I totally agree. That is way too big. But what I did look at, and if you look at since we don't have other 60s, and I don't want to go 10 and 20s, which I don't even know if 10s or 20s are in the area. But what I did happen to look, I said, well, let me just hold off on this, and let's look at everything else. So the average square footage is okay. So they're coming in around about the same as this. And if you look at the price, the rent, if you they're running about the same. So I said to myself, wait, can I use it? Can there be an exception to the rule? And I said, okay, well, suppose if I was to ask an appraiser, because there was no other comparatives that was a 1960 unit, that there were no other comparatives to this particular unit, would that appraiser say to me, well, you're going to have to find a comparative city with the same demographics and find units, 60 units there? Or would he say, I will use them because I'm looking at the rents and they're all comparative to each other? And since I did not ask an appraiser, because I didn't have the time, because I would have, I want you all to be the appraiser. I want you all to be the appraiser. What would you say? What sayest thou? Hey, Nick, haven't heard from you in a while. How's everything? Come on, everybody. Don't get quiet now. Come on.
Hey, what's up, Daryl? How you doing, man? Good to
Yeah,
see
I'm
you.
okay. And same here.
It's been a while.
I know. What's your
So,
feedback?
you
What's
guys
your
underwriting a
feedback
deal
on what I
today?
was talking about, huh?
You guys underwriting a deal today?
Yeah. But
Awesome.
I wanted us to discuss this right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I wanted us to discuss this right here.
So
Right here.
Daryl, within the last 6 months to a year, there haven't been any 40 units, 30, 40 units, 50 units. So
Um, gotta ask Billy. Billy, so
they
Billy,
were all over 200, no 100.
yeah, yeah. Billy, in reference to Alicia's question, what's your thoughts? What you say? What you say about that?
Um, I did see some on the CoStar report. I had to go back and look. Um, I will say that a lot that's been built has been way over like 100 units being built. But as far as being sold, they've been, I would say, anywhere between the 80 to about 150 unit mark from what I've been seeing.
Yeah, I would look at that range, um, and do the same type of comparison that you're doing currently. Um, I know that appraisers, what they'll do is they'll look at the price per unit and see if that's comparable, and what the units look like as well. Are they upgraded? What type of amenities does it have? Does it have in-house washer and dryer? Um, what type of water tank does it have? Is it a shower and bath? Those types of things. But the size and square footage, I would look at that too. I think you're on the right path, even if there are 200 units in that area. Because if it's in the area of those same units and they're being sold, I would sell it at the same, very similar price per unit.
I agree. I mean, when I spoke about my apartment manager about it, she's pretty much said the same thing Alicia just said. Even Foothills, which is a larger property, it has a little bit more square footage. She said it's probably unit wise, you're probably going to be about the same comparative.
Yeah, and Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I've when I was a realtor, when I was a commercial realtor, and if I had a situation like this, I would always consult with an appraiser. And
Mhm.
so, um, one or two things I noticed they will always say to me: you're either going to go to another area where the demographics are the same, similar in nature, this, that, and the other, or you're going to have to find um, those units. But the square footage of our units are similar to everything else in the area. And you know, and so and I'm looking at the rents, and I'm looking at what's on the underwrite, which I'm going to show the underwrite in a minute, everyone.
Is it near a major highway?
Yes. It's like really off, hop on, hop off, Interstate 40.
Well, call out the name of the interstate.
And university as well?
You said do what?
Is it near university?
Yes, it's a community college, and it's not close to university, but it's not too far. It's probably about 15 minutes to the university.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
for those that just came in, let me just give everyone an update and say hello. Hello to Nick and hello to Lashida. Did I pronounce your name right? Lashida Sayer?
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you.
All right, all right. Welcome, welcome. So what are we talking about right now? We're talking about rent comps for a particular property. This is the subject property. The subject property, let me just highlight this right here. Okay, so this is the subject property, and I eliminated some of the property just by hiding them because they weren't comparative. One by year built. That totally just took them out. So I eliminated those. But these were the last three that was remaining. And I let them and I said, okay, let's see what we could do. Let's see what I could find. Yeah, these are much larger. Totally 100%, right? But I'm looking at the square footage to all of these properties, and they're coming in very close to ours. Now, looking at the bedrooms, hold on one second. We have ones and twos. So what I'm going to do here for the ones and the twos, so we don't have a studio, so I'm going to hide that. And I'm going to hide the three. We don't have that either. So this is what we have. And if you look comparatively, they're coming about right along with where we are. And if you look right here on the rent per square foot, they're coming about where we are. So I said to myself, well, why can't I use it? Now, normally, what I would do is try to get an appraiser a commercial appraiser, not just any appraiser. What I would normally do is try to get a commercial appraiser, or as, and I have to say this, and I did not say this, and Billy is correct, and Alicia is correct, get with a property manager to say, yo, is this acceptable? And see what they say. And I do believe Billy spoke with the property manager, and the property managers, Billy, just repeat what you said again, what the property manager said.
And she said, although a couple of the properties are larger unit size, she said roughly around the age, the square footage, and the rents, they're about the same. And so she said she would use those.
Okay. And she said she would use those.
Yes.
Okay. So, so then I'm going to use those. All right. So now, since we got that cleared up, boom. Now let's take a look But are there any, before we move on, because I want to show the underwrite now. I'm going to show the underwriting. Now, this here platform is an educationally based platform. So please don't hold back questions, and please don't stay silent, because I don't want to keep talking to myself and then one or two people say something, either Alicia or Billy say something, Moses will say something, but then everyone else don't say anything, right? Which either means you're not paying attention because you're off doing something else. And I appreciate you being here, giving me the credit, right? But I would really prefer if you talk, really. So anyway, so let's move on. So now let's discuss. I'm gonna walk through the underwrite at this point. Let me just make sure everything is copacetic. Yeah, that's all. I just want to make sure everything is copacetic. Make sure everything looks good. Yeah, because there's no name. There's no name popping up anywhere else. Okay, so let's move on now. If you have a question, please, 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 please ask the question. Okay, so here we're going to start right here with the square. Oh, we do have a studio. Oops, hold on one second. That was right here between F and G. Oops. Let me just do an unhide. There we go. All right. Yeah, now our studios are running about this. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Anyway, so let's move on back to, okay, so back to right here. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so here we go right here. And just so now, these are the average rents. Okay. These are the average rents that's being collected according to the rent roll. All right. So now when you look over here, these are the rents on the renovated units, what they're charging right now. So since these are, and as you can see right here, we have renovated, renovated, renovated right there. So these units are renovated. We're not going to have to do anything to them. And matter of fact, and before I move to the next slide, let me get Billy's opinion on this. But as of right now, it appears that we're not going to do anything. But if we were to do any renovation, we could bring these units. Sorry about that, everyone. These units here, am I doing this right? I'm messing up myself. Projected rent standard, yeah, that's right. So the classics are, they're the ones that's going to have to be, yeah. The classics will be brought up to the units. I think I got that backwards. No, I don't. No, I don't. Sorry. Man, I am like, seriously. I think I got, yeah, no, it's right. Boom, boom. This one here doesn't need to be there. Yeah, because that's not getting renovated. So that was at 750. They at 670, which left $80. Now I'm trying to get close to $100. So we left that one. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But the rest of these, the rest of the classics, yeah, classic, classic, classic. Okay, great. So these are the units that have already been renovated. Okay. But these are the units that's going to be renovated, and we'll be able to bring the rents up to what has already been done, which is right here. So if you look at the spread on it, it does give it gives us a good little spread. I think only one of them may have fell $4 shy, but I'm gonna go ahead and just let that stay. But these here takes us over $100 if we were to renovate them and take them all up to that price. So Billy had the opportunity to tour this property, but Billy, from what you saw, would you still say that some of the renovated units still need to be renovated, or they could stay the way they are, and we just hit only the classics?
I believe they can stay the way they are. The only difference is basically going to be the appliances.
Yeah.
They're using black appliances, which is okay for this property, and no stainless steel appliances. Also, even on the classics, the major difference between those, because even with the classics, they put paint, LVP, and that's about it. But they have white appliances, and that's basically what the regional manager said. That's basically what they did. She said, in theory, the classics are basically renovated as well. They just don't have the new appliances in them.
Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. So,
So we're looking at
okay,
light rehabs.
okay, great, great. So, okay, so let's keep this the way it is for now. When I get to the section on the renovation, let's see if maybe we could readjust the budget. Okay, let's see if we could readjust the budget. So moving forward, okay, so here are my taxes, 54,000. This is where I'm going to go to right here. So Billy did present these numbers to the property manager that would be running this property for us, right? And so, Billy, what did the property manager say in reference to our operating expenses?
Yeah, the operating expenses are on par with what the T12 says because of the age of the property. She said typically you're going to have more maintenance issues with this age of a property. And so she said they are pretty much on par with what they have right now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, do you
I have a
feel?
question.
Sure. Go ahead, Cedric.
I'm sorry to jump in. How much are the taxes you said?
54,000.
Why is the taxes so high? I mean, I don't know this specific property, but I know where Billy is located. And I kind of know that market and look at taxes and things like that on properties there. So um, to me, that just seems to be high. Was that number verified?
Yes, it was by me. So
Okay.
now I'm gonna tell everyone. You hear that question? That's an excellent question because you should always check the taxes, verify the taxes. Call that tax assessor. Call the appraisal district if you're in Texas. Call that appraisal district and find out one, how do they assess their buildings? How do they come up with their number? Right? How? So, Cedric, that's an excellent question. So, yeah, Billy gave me the information. Plus, what I did, I wanted to know the formula, because I'm not familiar with the formula in this particular city, but I'm very familiar with how they do it in Texas, right? So I did call, talk to the lady. She gave me the formula and the breakdown. But before she even gave me the formula and the breakdown, when I gave her the address to the property, she knew off the top what what the taxes were. I said, "Whoa!" I said, "You knew that just by me giving you the address." That told me something right there, and I should have told all of you something.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it did.
Yep, that told me something. So I said, okay, thank you very much. She did give me the formula, how they assess their properties. And as you continue in this industry, you are going to learn so many different ways of assessing properties. South Carolina do theirs totally different. Florida, totally different. North Carolina, totally different. Each state does it totally different. Here we go. Alicia, how do they do it in Phoenix?
It's usually a 5% increase year over year or less. Um, and they assess it by a unique formula. It doesn't even take into account the full value of the property.
Yeah. See there? Texas, Texas does this different. So Texas does, so the way Texas is going to do it, first of all, Texas is a non-disclosure state. So by them not knowing what you pay for the property, they they don't they have their own system and way of doing it. Okay. However, once that year rolls around, you're going to find out now how they do it. That's when they're going to get you, right? So in Texas, and let me make sure I have this correct, because I don't want to be wrong. They do not go by the sale price of the property at all. They have their formula that they use to calculate the taxes. Once you own that property for a year and a new tax year roll around, then you're going to get a letter in the mail, and it's going to ask you for the rent of each of the units, the total for like all the one bedrooms, 950 square feet, the average, right? For the average, you're going to have to submit that. So they're going to get the rent, the income, they're going to get the expense. You're going to submit that to the appraisal district. The appraisal district is going to come back with a number. They don't know how much you pay for it, but they're going to get you on because they know what those rents are. And that's how your after your first year, your taxes are going to be known. So there you go. All right, so let's jump back into this here underwrite right quick. Now, as we go along, please ask questions. Okay. So for the operating expense, we're squared away on that. We're pretty good. Okay. The acquisition fee, asset management fee, there's no disposition. I don't normally do a disposition, but I haven't had the opportunity yet to really get with Alicia and with Billy to see if they wanted to implement a disposition fee. Okay. Construction fee. Now, this we may want to reduce, but once I go through, Billy could say, no, Dad, let's bring that down from 3% to 2% or to 1%. This is going to be who's going to be managing the work that's going to be done. Matter of fact, Billy may say, yo, we don't even need a construction management fee because the only thing we're going to be doing is just putting in new appliances and so forth. Okay. All right. Pro forma. So from off the T12, this is what we have. Okay. So this is from the T12. Now, if we have any questions, please just jump right in. Matter of fact, I see a red. Hold on one second. Main chat. Hope you don't. Okay. Got it. I'm caught up now. All right. So from the T12 here, the numbers that's going in. All right. And right here. Now, and here you can see there was a few things, the operating expenses. This was good. As you can see, we running close to theirs. Advertising, I was just averaging a little more. Now, just because it's averaging a little more, that doesn't mean we're going to pay more. If the by this property being close to a major highway, close to things where it could be seen and visible, we may be able to just bring this down to where, who knows, maybe right along with them. Okay. He didn't have contract services, but I always allocate for contract services once we take over because you never know. We may, I don't know how they work their trash. I don't know how certain things are operated there. But once we get this property under contract, we will request for all their contracts. And as you can see right here, where is it? Repair and maintenance is pretty high. So that contract services may be right here. It could be right here. And also you'll see that there's no turnovers. That can also be dumped into here. So if you take this number here, this number, and this number, it equals up to 60,000. It's only $11,000 short from repair and maintenance. That could be reason why it's at 71,000. So that's okay. We're going to leave that the way it is. General admin, as you can see right here, our year one is a little higher than this. Again, we have to see. Now I need to go back. I need to go back to Billy for right here. Billy, if they manage the property, they say what their management fee was.
They did not.
Okay.
They didn't give me
So,
that.
okay. So let's let this stay at 4%. But do you think it's going to be more than 4?
Probably going to be more than 4.
Okay. Now, is that, do you think that's also going to include a payroll? I have our payroll much higher than theirs.
Yes, they're going to include payroll.
Okay. So, all right. So, okay, good. All right. Utilities. I'm going to bump this up to an 8. All right. Insurance, got that from JT. Our insurance went up. And here taxes, here are their taxes, here our taxes. And as you can see, I think something else is probably included with here, but this is directly from the tax assessor's office. So this is where, now at this point, really the property manager did say that we need to have something on some reserve. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, so with the debt service being 235, this is an older building. I would like to make this $250,000. Now I got it on year 5 because we will hold this property for 5 years and then let it go. All right. So it'll be a 5-year hold. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. So here's the renovation. So we could take this out and I have 5,000 here. Do you think, Billy, we still need the 5,000? Just let it stay, or do you think just let it stay?
I would just let it stay for now.
Okay.
So that way we can tour every unit and make sure, sometimes people tell you something may not be the case. So I'll keep them there for now.
Sounds good. Okay. And for the exterior, I put 3,000. How was the exterior for you?
The exterior pretty solid. I would probably bump that up at least another $1,000 on the exterior.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So he's coming in at 6,000. As of right now, I'm coming in at 4.2 million, and our numbers still are not quite there. So hold on one sec. I see some red lights. Hold on 1 minute, everyone. I want to see if I can answer the question.
Oh, there, the sales price is max 5 million.
Oh, 5 million. Okay. Oh boy, that's even better.
Yeah, the pricing is, he said the pricing guidance is upper fours to max 5 million. So I would just say max out at 5 million.
Okay. All right. So it's 5. Oh, hold on a minute. Did I just mess up on that? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. But that's okay. I did, but it's not going to affect any formula. Okay. So now, as you can see here, his asking of 5 million is at a 5.93, and the market cap rate from where I'm coming in at 4.2 is, you can see is not, it's pretty close. Now everyone, this is where I have to try to think ahead, right? Because Rich is not here, and I would like to know where can I come in on the interest rate on this particular asset. The reason being, why am I asking that question? Because as you can see right here, I'm coming in equal interest rate to cap rate. His cap is lower than my interest. So when you look at that, you can say, yo, Daryl, man, your interest rate is greater than your cap or equal to your cap. You sort of not making any money, man. You got to come down a little more here. Either that or you're going to put down more. It's going to be one or the other. Okay. So if Billy was here, not Billy, but if Richard was here, I would discuss that. I will discuss that with him. Okay. But this is only going to be a 5-year hold. So right here, sell 5 years right there. That's what we're going to do. But now let's continue. This will all be left blank. So here, as you can see, the numbers still aren't looking quite where we need them to be for our investors. Okay. Let's continue to sources and uses. For here, I have a habit of bumping up my closing costs. This is a 60-unit building, and I do believe on Dayton I had our closing costs much higher. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Matter of fact, I know I had it high. I think I had about 4 or 5%. But I'm gonna tell you, some of you may say, "Well, yo, down. Do we really need to have it that high?" No, you don't have to have it that high because really, the larger the building, the closing cost rate would be lower. The smaller the building, the closing cost rate is going to be higher. This is a 60 unit. I had it at, I think I had it at 5%. I dropped it to 4, but I could probably even take it down to 3. But I'm gonna tell you why I keep mine just maybe 1 or 2% higher. When we closed on Dayton, there was a change from the lender. And if I would not have had that extra 1 or 2% in there, it could have put us into a bind. We had it. Boom, we closed. We were good. So didn't have to raise no more money. And what money we had, we was able to move forward. Now, we did not raise all our capital. Guess what? But we was able to move forward without having to go back to investors to ask them for the rest of the money or to continue trying to raise money. We didn't have to do it. We were good. Good to go. Any
How was
questions?
that, Daryl? Yeah. How was that? That you were able to move forward without having to raise more capital?
Because the way I underwrite, I always underwrite with an operating reserve, everyone, all the time. Now, does that? I'm gonna be honest with you. That may be stopping us sometimes from getting deals. It could be because I always have an emergency, and I learned that from COVID. No, not COVID. Before COVID, there was another housing crisis problem before COVID, and I learned to build in an emergency. So we had enough emergency money to where we had enough emergency money, and we had enough, and by me having my closing costs, I think I had it like 4%. I think at least it was 4%, was it? I think I had like 4%, which was more than enough It was more than enough. Boom, we was able to close. By me having that emergency money, I call it, we call it operating reserves. And if you notice, I put in on this underwrite $250,000. You saw me do that. Emergency money. Now you can always lower it, you can always raise it, okay? But the whole point is to have the point that we built that was so that if something was to happen, we could still continue to manage that building. We would not have to go back to investors. So again, double thing, I raised my closing costs to 4%, which was only, I think, the other one was like way less, like 2 or 3, maybe 3, I don't know. But we didn't have to worry about that. And the last thing was I had the operating reserves. We had a good chunk of money for operating reserves just in case something was to ever happen down the line. In other words, if the whole building was to become vacant, we had the operating reserves, then we could use that to manage the building, right? And we was able to move forward. That's what happened. Now you got to be careful with all of that extra money because sometimes that could hurt you from trying to get a deal. You may have to reduce it or eliminate it, or so, but that's how it works. I hope I answered that question. Did I answer that question for you, Cedric?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right. Yep. All right. Let me see. There's a comment in red. Okay. Thank you.
Daryl, my question is, what did the lender change that made you need to dip into that extra money?
No, I remember I didn't dip into nothing. I already built it in. Wait a minute. Now let's get that straight. I didn't dip into nothing. I already had it built in.
What made you use the
But
extra?
what made me use it? What was it? It was did they changed now I can't remember exactly. Whatever it was, it made there was some fees that had came in. I think it was like fees, I think from either some attorneys or it was something, but it was a significant, I do remember, I think it was a significant amount.
The insurance went up too.
Yeah,
3
yes,
times.
thank you. Boy,
3 times.
Alicia, thank you. Yeah, so the insurance went up, and I think
The
the
interest
insurance went
rate.
up, and then there was some other fees that went up. And if by me having that extra 1 or 2%, I didn't have to try to scramble for money. We had it. Thank you, Alicia. All right, let me go back to the underwrite. Okay, so Billy, okay, that's the reason why this is now. So right here, Billy, for closeout is usually it's 4%, but I know we could probably, take it down 1 or 2 notches. But I would say let's just hold tight for now on this and let's see how it play out. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay. Now, if you notice that when I didn't put anything here by me having such a 4%, I didn't add the origination fee, which is usually only 1%. So even if I was there it is. But I'll let that stay. I'll let that ride. And then as you can see here, we're paying our escrow and stuff in advance for the insurance, the taxes. Insurance this should be even an insurance or somewhere, but pay that in advance too. That's what it was, to the insurance. Yeah. Okay. So here, this is going to be a 25-75 split. We don't do preps and all of that other stuff, but it's going to be 75% to the general partners. I mean, to the limited partners. We got to bring our numbers up here to make this appealing to the investors. We don't have a waterfall, okay? So it's going to be straight 25-75 split, 25 to the GP, 75 to the LPs. Acquisition fee, remember, no disposition fee as of right now, no prefs, right? So this is where we stand right now. We don't need to see tab 7 and 8 and 9 and all the rest of them. Okay. So I do want to say to Billy and Alicia, we need to just get together on this one here so that we could really finalize everything, streamline it, and let's submit an offer and see if we can get this property under contract. But are there any questions? Any questions? Is there anything you would have done different?
It's good to me so far. Like I said, we got to get together and tighten it up, but I think we're on the right track for sure.
Fantastic. Okay, so is there anything that you would have done the same?
I would say the only thing that I would want to look at, back to your first question, is if there was any units that has sold between 40 to 100, 125. That's what I would look at.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I get on top of that.
Okay.
Daryl,
So-
you mentioned that the numbers weren't quite up to the investor standards. Going back to what we talked about a few times is ignoring all of those, it's still cash flowing. Would that make a difference for your going forward, or?
So, see, now that's an excellent question. Kenneth, that's an excellent question. If I'm gonna be honest with you, if it was just Alicia, Billy, and Daryl, I believe that we could truly answer that question. Say, yo, is this property cash flowing?
Mhm.
How much is it cash flowing? Is it worth our while? I think we could get away with that. But since we're having outside investors, if we were to go to them, although the property is cash flowing, I don't know if they will quite understand. If y'all think I'm wrong on that one, or no, not wrong, but if you think that there's a little difference of an opinion, please tell me. Come forth and tell me now.
Can you show us that set of numbers again?
Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Right. Hold on 1 second. Wrong button. Sorry, y'all. I mean, sometimes all right, let me get you to the cash flow.
Moses is quiet. Moses, what do you think?
I've been listening, got a bunch of stuff going on this end, but I think he's on the money.
Okay, so here we go, everyone.
Cool,
I will
thank you.
now share. Okay, so I don't want to. Although I have it here, I don't want to just jump right here and show you. Let's take it from the top, where right here. So here's the income, right? Here's the total operating expense. Here's the net operating income. Here's the debt service. So here's what's left over. After paying all cash, after paying debt, after paying everything, this is your cash flow. Okay. So if it was just Alicia, Daryl, and Billy, we may say, you know something? And this is year one, maybe we'll be happy with that. With 20,000 a piece. You probably saying, well, wait a minute, Daryl, that's more than if you go 3 ways. That's no, I know what I said. 20,000 a piece. And hold on, let some stay here. Right. But since there's other investors, they may say, yo, it's not enough. It's just, you know, I want a greater return. And once we adjust the numbers, then this is going to increase right here. Year 5, we sell the property and all of that. But you see what I'm saying, everyone? Right here. Again, if it was just Billy, Alicia, and Daryl, we may be okay with this.
Yeah, that's
But
like 1.2.
yeah, but it,
1.2 at the end.
yeah.
How many people are in on this?
Billy, Alicia, and Daryl.
You said if it was just you three in on it, you would be okay with it, but if
No.
If we
I
were
said if it
funding.
was just us 3, we may be okay with that. We may, because Billy may say, "Yo, man, I want more than that. Alicia may want more."
What's the raise?
Oh, we would have to. Well, let's hold tight on the raise. Let's hold tight on that one.
Okay.
All right.
Throw another factor in there that wasn't mentioned. And
What's
that'd be, are you buying that under replacement cost? And is that a factor?
A replacement cost sounds like insurance, but we're not buying it on replacement cost. We're buying it based on how that property is performing as of today.
Okay.
Mhm.
When would that come into a factor? I mean, something to really consider.
Well, that depends on what you're doing. Like a replacement cost, that sounds like more construction or something like that. But we're not we're not doing any of that though. So, but it is 12 o'clock, and I want to stick to my rules. And Alicia also reminded me. But I want to thank you all for. If you have any questions, wait. Let me just ask this before I hit 1 minute after 12. How many of you would be interested in investing if the numbers pan down? Now, go just raise a hand. Raise the hand. Put a thumb up. Hit the. Where's the raise the hand button? I don't know where to raise them. Just go like this here and see
It's under
if it works.
react.
Does it work? And see, it's not oh, Alicia got hers up. So that's going to be the question I'm going to ask you. Would you be interested in investing in this property if the numbers worked out and we got this thing under contract? I want you to think about that. All right? Think about that. All right? So we're going to be looking for investors. You know, now let's Billy or Alicia got the dough.
I need to call my rich uncle there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Billy and Alicia, I'll shoot you out an email so that we could try to get together, pin this thing down. And then for anyone that, once we pin it down, we will be bringing it back here, letting y'all see what the finalization is. And hopefully you'll be partnering with us on this particular asset. Thank you all very much for coming to the Commercial Underwriting Show. If you have any questions, please email them to me at darrow@murphybanditgroup.com. Have a fantastic week, everyone. All right. Jasmine, how you doing?